Hey climbers, Brent here. Are you ready to write your best songs ever? Are you ready to take that next step in your songwriting journey? Well, I want to help you with that. Listening to the C.L.I.M.B podcast is a great way to get started on your songwriting journey and to learn the basics about the art, the craft, and the business of songwriting. But eventually, you're probably going to need the personal touch. You're probably going to need some one-on-one feedback, some advice, and some help reaching your songwriting goals. And that's what I want to help do for you. I want to help you write your best songs ever. And I want to help you learn the art, the craft, and the business of songwriting, of how to turn pro in your mind and in your behavior before you ever turn pro on paper, before you ever have the awards to hang on the wall. I want to give you the mindsets and the skills to earn that stuff. And so we'll dive into your questions and I'll give you honest answers. And I can help repair your song if it's already written but has a couple bugs and has some opportunities to get better. Or we can help prepare your song if you have an idea, a notion, a title. We can do your own private song title challenge if you want. If you want to get ready for a co-write, if you have a meeting coming up and you want to get your stuff locked down where it's the best it can be, I'm happy to help you do that as well. You can see my calendar, get all the details, and actually book a session at songwritingpro.com/coaching. That is songwritingpro.com/coaching. Now, if you're still not sure if a coaching session with me is the right thing for you, let's listen to what this climber had to say about their session.
This review is for anyone who is on the fence about booking a session with Brent Baxter. I have done several one-on-one coaching sessions via Skype and also completed an online class that Brent hosted a few months ago. I have nothing but great things to say about both of these experiences. I am a physician and a hospital administrator. Music and songwriting are two of my favorite hobbies and have been for many years. But as a hobbyist and someone who spends a great deal of time at work and in my career, it can be difficult to concentrate on something completely unrelated, or for that matter to devote the tremendous time and energy that is required to see decent results. Brent is a true professional who can quickly orient himself to what you want and what you need and be that perfect lyric writing partner that you otherwise would not be able to find. I tried writing with other amateurs online in the past, but it never went anywhere. Having the insight and experience of a professional, someone who has dedicated his career to the development of his craft, really makes a difference. If you do your part after he does his, I guarantee you will be happy that you spent the money and the time, and you will be hooked.
Welcome to another Song Title Challenge. This is where climbers send in a song title. I pick it randomly. I go to Brent. Well, it's not really randomly. I pick the stuff that just freaks me out that day or whatever.
Yeah.
I spring it to Brent live on the air, and we try to mimic what happens in a Music Row professional songwriting session in the first 15 minutes of every session. Instead of just putting pen to paper and starting to write lyrics, we actually try to figure out 4 or 5 different conceptual ideas to spin that title in ways we could go with the concept of the lyrics so that we make sure we have the most clever approach that we would have. This is a fun, creative exercise. It is not a co-write in any way, so whoever sends in those titles, use it, don't use it, use 100% of it, use none of it. It's okay. We just want you to invite us to the #1 party if you get a cut.
That's right.
And make that happen. We want to be there. Anything you want to add to that, brother?
Yeah, just want to encourage you to keep digging deeper and deeper into your song titles and figure out what to do with them, because your first blush and first impression of what that title might mean might be the right one, but it might not be. But either way, you're going to feel better about it if you come back around to it going, yeah, I've looked around some different corners, some different angles, looked under a bunch of rocks, and I'm confident this is the best angle to write this song from. So I want to help encourage you to do that, show you some ways to do that, and hopefully have some fun along the way.
And not for nothing, if you go back and listen to previous episodes of this, but there's a boatload of them where, like in the 11th hour, we're like, whoa, there it is.
Yeah.
Then we come out with a cool hook. Like, oh, okay, that's
how we do it.
That's how we're going to do it. And then when we're like jealous that we don't get to write the song, actually.
Exactly. A little sad. Yeah.
Okay. So if you would like to send in a title, by the way, submit a title, send your song title to info@daredevilproduction.com. Production is singular. There is no S. info@daredevilproduction.com, and put song title challenge in the subject line. And we'll get that into the right folder. And if we pick it, it'll be on the air. We'll say your name, we'll say the title, and we'll go to work on it.
That's right.
Just like this right here. So this is from Randy Englund. This is the second song title we've done from him.
Hey, Randy.
Once again, you can send as many titles as you want.
That's right.
Here's the song title. What Other People Think. What
Okay, I'm just
other
writing it down
people
here.
think.
What other people think. So I'm writing it down here so I can see it, look at it. All right. Well, thanks for sending this in, Randy. I hate your guts. All right. So what other people think? All right. So I'm a country hammer, so I tend to think of things as in a country mindset, country song kind of way. But that's certainly not the only way to write a title. I mean, Randy, for all we know, might have a punk rock idea for this. But just giving you what I think. So what other people think, man, it could be about a girl, that girl that's just a little crazy in a good way. Like what other people think is she's this way and she's that way. She's off a rocker, but she don't care what other people think. I feel like it's going to be one of those kind of bookend things, like what other people think is this or that, but blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what other people think. Mm-hmm. Or you can't change what other people think. So you just do you. Because you can't change what other people think, and it doesn't matter what other people think.
There's a famous quote from that is, I want to say it's Lady Bird Johnson, the first lady back in the day. Mm-hmm. Could be wrong about that, so don't quote me on the person who made the quote. The quote is, what other people think is none of my business.
Yeah, that's true. That's on them.
Yeah.
Not so much on me. What other people think. Yes.
Which is empowering when you really adapt that whole.
Yeah. Because you can't control what other people think. You can hold it up. You can hold up a pear, and if they call it an orange, it's a pear, and I called it a pear.
I think a lot of artists struggle with that because their parents are worried that this isn't a job, or they're worried about what other people think. Just do your thing.
Yeah, one thing we were telling Ozzy the other day, because he was worried about something that he thought he felt embarrassed by something that had happened or whatever in a crowd kind of situation. It was like, he's kind of lamenting that after the fact, that afraid people were looking at it and thinking less of him or whatever because of some little thing that happened. I don't even know what it was. And then it was like, it doesn't matter what other people think. And my take on it was, and I've shared it before with people, it's like, Ozzy, people don't think about other people nearly as much as we think they do. They're busy thinking about themselves.
Yeah, that's right.
Like most of the time, people are all wrapped up in what they think. They're so worried about what people are thinking about them in that moment. They're not as worried about thinking about you. I mean, yeah, there are people who get their jollies off tearing others down, and there is that segment. But most people, I think, are pretty wrapped up in themselves, and they're not really thinking about you too much. They're thinking about them.
Well, even the people that get their jollies off tearing other people down are doing that because of what they think of themselves.
Yeah. It kind of comes back to them. So, yeah. So what other people think? What other people think? That's one of those thought-provoking titles, which is good because that's what we want to do. Even if we think it's not a thought-provoking title, let's put the thought in. So it could be this guy saying, hey, we should be together in spite of what other people think. Other people think we're crazy, we're too different, that it won't work out, but who cares what other people think? Yeah. I know what I think. I think I know what you think. So who cares what other people think? Like, we're the only ones here.
What you think. There it is right there. I know what I think. I think I know what you think. Yeah. Who cares what other people think? Yeah. That's where you could say that word 3 times and it works.
And it works. You make it a thing.
Yeah.
Right. It's not. So it could be that. It could be, I know what other people think, but I just care what you think. There's that thing too of, it's that song about you trying to climb some ladder, chase some dream, and other people think you're failing. It's like, I don't care what other people think, girl. I need to know what you think.
How about something along that line where, let's say he does something that's a little embarrassing or something, maybe people laughed at him or whatever, but his girl thought it was charming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're kind of laughing at him and she's just like, that's so adorable.
Yeah.
Or he did something that was like really heartwarming or something. And they don't know that you did it for this reason.
Yeah. It's like I've told Emily before when she's trying to, get me dressed up for some event or, some outfit, or she's trying to buy me a shirt or something. She's like, what do you think? I'm like, 2 things to keep in mind. You're the only person I'm trying to impress, and you're the one who has to see me in it or whatever. Like, spend time with me in it. As long as we get those 2 things, I'm fine. I don't really care what other people think, as long as it's okay in those 2 parameters. You're the one spending time with me, looking at me in this, and you're the one I'm trying to impress.
So is that where the Speedo came from?
That's definitely where that's,
the 4th of July.
It's America. Make America great again.
The American flag banana hammock for
exactly. Yeah.
You can't unsee that now, people.
Can't, not even in my own mind, and that's terrible because I'm much more familiar with that real estate. So yeah, if it's that thing of like, I don't care what other people think, I just care about what you think, which is cool. That's affirming to the girl. Or other people think love doesn't really last. They're cynical about love and that sort of thing. But man, I don't care what other people think. It's all that matters what we think.
Other people think that 50% of marriages end up in divorce, but I don't care what other people think.
Yeah, all that matters is what we think.
People tell me this or people tell me that. Or it could be about a person who had a really big character arc, right? Like maybe they had an epiphany and they like, this girl used to be maybe a bad girl or something, and now she's a good girl. I don't know if you got enough time in a song to spell that out, but
yeah. Or it could be someone who's all wrapped up in what other people think, and almost like a bullying, or I guess anti-bullying type song. People die for what other people think.
There you go.
And I'm also
we go to war for what other people think.
Yeah, they go to war, they kill, they die for what other people think. But at the end, it doesn't matter what other people think. I mean, we tell our kids all the time, it doesn't matter what other people think about you, it matters what God thinks about you. Like he's your audience.
Yeah.
You do all right by him. And people are going to have their differing opinions on that. No matter what you do, you can't please everybody. So you pick your audience.
That's right.
That's your audience. Depending on the song, it might be, if it is more like a gospel Christian thing, it's like, no matter what other people think. It matters what God thinks. Who's your audience? Audience of one. And people are going to think what they think. Or it could be a love thing. I'm going to do what I do for you, my love. It doesn't matter what other people think. You're my audience. Or I'm my own audience. All that matters is if I follow my own true north kind of thing. There's that. And I think about what's the opposite of think? Do, right? It doesn't matter what other people think. It just matters what they do.
Oh, there you go.
Somebody says, I love you or whatever. It's kind of like it doesn't matter what you feel. It matters what you do. You aren't showing it. Yeah. I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, or what you say.
Exactly. No matter what you say, it matters what you do. And maybe you find a way to list those. Doesn't, what other people think, what other people say, what other people do. I'm just about me and you, whatever.
No.
You could be that or.
That rhymed. Awesome.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm working that out.
Get it, scratch that itch, boy.
There we go. Gotta get a rhyme in there somewhere. So it doesn't matter what other people think when other people aren't thinking about you.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about you. That's why I'm doing what I do. So it doesn't matter what other people think.
Yeah.
If they're not thinking about you or whatever. So it could be something like that, or oh man, the thing, it's sad and amazing what some people do because of what other people think. What other people think affects what you do, which could be the bullying thing. You hurt yourself. With the Joneses. Yeah.
There's a great Tim McGraw song that I loved. I can't remember who wrote it, but it's hard business being in business with you or something like that.
No, it's a pleasure it's a business doing pleasure with you.
It's a business doing pleasure with you. Yeah. He's like, putting his spinners on her Escalade. And he's like, hey, I got the diamonds on your damn dog's collar and all about what other people think. You could spin it that way and have some fun with some brand names and stuff like that. But it's all, it's a pleasure. It's a business doing pleasure with you. That's
yeah. Yeah. And it's that thing about how much money we spend to impress people we don't like. We spend money we don't have on things we don't want to impress people we don't like.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so what if you kind of wrap that around what other people think, just to change or whatever, what other people think, spending money I don't have, on things I don't need, just to change what other people think, or just to change what other people think, or just to affect, I'm not sure the word on that, just because of what other people think.
Yeah, like I don't care as long. Again, it's like I don't care as long as I'm here with you. I don't care what other people think, and like people do that on Facebook too. It's all like a false life. Yeah, to impress, to influence what other people think that you're never gonna meet, maybe.
Yeah, and who cares? So I think there's some stuff in there. It feels like it has to be a little deeper than kind of just an I love you thing, but because you're talking about what you're bringing other people into it. Mm-hmm. And so there's some philosophical backing to whatever. So like Randy, you got to find what feels true and accurate to you. And that's going to really inform how to write this in an authentic way. Yeah. So, I mean, you could do the granddad telling the story, the older guy giving the story to the younger guy. It's like, man, I've killed myself for what other people think. This guy that, his retirement kind of thing. And his retirement speech is, well, this has all been a big mistake. All this crap I've gone through just because of what other people think. I could have been on a boat somewhere, fishing down a creek, but I missed all that because of what other people think. And figured out how to make money by accident doing something I love. Yeah, or just get by with less. But I got this gold watch. Yeah, buying money I didn't have for stuff. That whole impress people I don't even like. Yeah. So it could be that kind of thing too, which is like more of a philosophical thing. Like, because what other people think, it doesn't matter. So don't live your life. Oh yeah, you can spin it like the Kenny Chesney song, "The Good Stuff," right? Is that the good? Is that Kenny? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Where it's some sort of Yoda character is saying, "Hey, man, don't worry about what other people think." Yeah, exactly. And here's why, and spells out all the mistakes that he made, and that's why I'm bartending here at 70 years old, because I was too busy worrying about what other people think. Exactly. And other people may think this about me, but I've learned not to care
that
what
could
other
be a
people
great
think.
story right there. That could be a great story.
Yeah.
You lose your job or something like that. You come in, you're worried about what your girl thinks, your parents think, your buddies are going to think, and you got this vacation coming up and now you can't afford it.
Or you're thinking about making that career change to go do something you love, and you're like, oh, I'm worried about what people are going to think about me. And the bartender's like, dude, I've been there. Maybe like
that's your first mistake.
People think the bartender's all I've ever been, but I quit a 6-figure job to go do this because I like hanging out on the beach and I get my drinks for free.
Oh,
who the hell
good.
cares what other people think?
Yeah. I went the tiki bar route, and I'm down in the Bahamas where you are right now. I don't care what happens, who's elected. I don't give a damn what happens back in the country. I'm just down here talking
so who
to
cares
cool
what
people
other people?
Like you. Yeah. Oh,
yeah. I'm living for me. Who cares what other people think? Whatever. I'm happy with me, maybe. Yeah. So who cares what other people think? Or they even think like, I don't even know those people.
Yeah.
Let them talk. So that could kind of go the Chesney, Currington kind of route too, as well. Which would be cool. Just about giving up everything and going and living on the beach.
Yeah, man. I like it.
Shoot, and I wouldn't give one grain of sand off this beach to hear what other people think. Like, I don't care. I wouldn't trade one grain of sand off this old beach for what other people think.
Oh, that's good.
It's not worth it to me. I'm living my life and I'm good. So that could be everything's going to be all right, kind of like laid back, kind of.
Yeah, that's a good angle on it.
Yeah. Or it could be like try to save someone's life to keep who's been bullied and just show them it doesn't matter what other people think. So you can go heavy or light heavy.
Or light heavy. Yeah.
Yeah. Like a little deeper than you think.
Cake or death.
Cake, please. Yeah. So, man, Randy, I hope that's been helpful. And hey, if y'all, if you're running across this on a blog post, on Facebook, on Instagram, or whatever, you have some other thoughts, throw it in the comments. We'd love to. It's a party. Bring a casserole, man. It's a potluck. So throw it in there because, we can either play top this or, hey, this is just another thing because certainly these are not all the ideas that you could come up with this title. So do Randy a favor and throw out some of your own skill. Let us know like, oh, that's really clever. Look at you, whoever posted that, how clever you are. Now I think more of you. So it's a chance for you to pipe up a little bit and show us what you got. If somebody wants to do a private song title challenge, in other words, you have a title you've been chewing on, or maybe you've already written it and you're not sure if that's the best way to write it and you want to bounce it off me, but not in front of our listeners, then yeah, I do that. I do private consulting, song feedback, coaching sessions in person, online, over the phone, kind of whatever works best for you. You can get all the details. You can see my calendar. You can book an appointment at songwritingpro.com/coaching. That's songwritingpro.com/coaching. And basically, I'm there to be a resource, answer questions you might have, help you write a song, help you rewrite a song, help you work through these, blind alleys and different, creative roadblocks in your song and help you write your best songs ever. So that's what I'm about. So you can look me up and I'll be happy to work with you.
Cool, man. All right, guys. Once again, if you would like to submit a song title challenge, send it to info@daredevilproduction.com. Production is singular. There is no S. info@daredevilproduction.com and put song title challenge in the subject line. If you can do that without the squeak in your voice, that's even better. This podcast exists because we want you to win. So keep on climbing.
And we'll see you at the top.
Song title challenge.